friends, it's me, Digital D again, and I wanted to talk to you about some math today. This week, you're on Lesson 11 in your math book, all about counting to 10. Now, this whole school year, you learn to count, you learn to look at different numbers and different number partners that make numbers like 6 and 7 and 8, but now finally, we're up to the number 10. All right, it's a fun and exciting number, and 10 is a really, really important number. So I wanted to take some time today to review what you know about the number 10.
Okay, friends, let's review some of the things we learned in Lesson 11 as we practice counting to 10. Let's start off by looking at this picture. This is one of the pictures from your book. And again, this week we're looking for the number 10. We want to practice counting all the objects. So I want you to practice counting with me. All right, I'm going to use my pen here to count. And so you can take your finger and you can point at the objects and count with me. So I want to start by counting these orange fish up here to see how many they are. And I'm going to count across and then down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 orange fish. What should we count next? How about the blue fish? All right, so again, we're going to count across and then down with each row. So let's start here at the top. Again, I want you to take your finger and I want you to point with me as I use my pen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 blue fish. How many seahorses do you see? That's right. We only see 1 seahorse. What's something else in the picture that there's only 1 of? Do you see something? Yes. Just 1 snail right here on that rock. Let's practice counting the yellow fish. All right, so yellow fish are in a weird design. So we're going to start here and kind of move across the top right here and go down. So again, I want you to follow along with me as I use the pen to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more makes how many? That's right, 1 more than 9 is 10. And that's our number we're counting on to this week. 10 yellow fish. What else can we count? Let's look at the green seaweed over here. Let's look at the green seaweed. I want you to take a second. I want you to point with your finger. And I want you to count silently in your head, if you can, to count this green seaweed. All right, so I want you to do it first, then we'll do it together. So use your finger, point to it, and count silently in your head. All right, hopefully you were able to count that. Give me a thumbs up if you saw 10 pieces of seaweed. So thumbs up if we saw 10 pieces of seaweed. Well, let's count it together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 pieces of seaweed. Was that 10? No, it wasn't. It's only 7. What should we count next? How about this little plant over here? Let's count the leaves on the plant. I want you to count with me. We're going to start at the top. We'll work our way down. So we have 1 leaf, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So how many leaves were on the plant? There are 5. What about these bubbles over here? Can you use your finger and count silently the number of bubbles? Once again, I'm going to ask you, if you counted to 10, give me a thumbs up. We've got a few thumbs, so let's count it together. Again, we'll start at the top and work our way down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we did have 10 bubbles. Those of you that counted 10, I want you to kiss your brain. Looks like we have one more thing to count. We have some rocks at the bottom of our picture. Now we have them some over here and some over here. And I want us to practice counting them in 2 different groups. Okay, so over here we have 1, 2. We have 2 rocks. Now we're going to jump over here and finish counting the rocks, but we're going to count them starting with what number? We already have 2. So when we start counting over here, we're going to start with the number 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So between the rocks over here and the rocks over here, we have a total of 10 rocks in both groups. All right, so again, this week we're looking at the number 10. And we're going to look at our tens frame here and talk about some of those number partners for 10. So I'm going to fill in some of our counters on the 10 frame, and I want you to count with me as I fill in the red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So how many red counters do we have? We have 6. So we'll put that in up there. And let me change the color so that we actually see what color we're talking about. And that is 6 counters that are red. Now let's put in the rest of our 10 frame, because we're looking at the number 10. We want to fill in with the rest yellow. So count with me as I fill in our yellow counters. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How many yellow counters did we have? That's right. We had 4 yellow counters. Now I filled those in at the top with 6 plus 4 equals 10. Do we have 10 counters in all? Let's count. I want you to do it first in your head. I want you to count all the counters in our 10 frame. All right, so let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 10 counters altogether. We had 6 that were red and 4 that were yellow. That's awesome. Now, let's practice with another set of objects. And let's do that with these counters right here. I want to mix them up a little bit. Let's see. I want you to help me count the red counters first. All right. So red counters first. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. So how many red counters do we have? We have 3. Now let's finish counting and count our yellow counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many yellow counters do we have? We have 7. Now, does 3 and 7 make 10? Do we have our whole 10 frame filled in? We do. And anytime we have both rows of our 10 frame filled in, we know that that equals 10. But let's count together and double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 3 red, 7 yellow gave us 10 counters in all. Now, 3 and 7 and 6 and 4, which we just used a minute ago, are number partners for 10. Do you know another number partner that would make 10? I want you to turn to someone next to you and tell them another number partner that equals 10. That's right. There are lots of number partners for 10. I heard some of you say 8 and 2 and 9 and 1. What if 5 was one of my number partners? What would be the other number partner for 5 to make 10? That's right. 5 and 5 are number partners that make 10. So let's finish up again practicing counting up to the number 10. That's our number we're looking for this week. So let's start with our red bears. Let's count them together. We're going to go across and then down. So let's start up here. You can use your finger and point to it as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many red bears do we have? We have 8. Now I want you to go ahead and count the green bunnies. Count the green bunnies. Try to count them in your head. You can point to them as you count. Let's see. How many green bunnies do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have the same amount of green bunnies as we have red bears. We have 8 red bears and 8 green bunnies. What about the blue cats? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 blue cats. That gives us one more group to count, the purple puppy dogs. I want you to count those on your own. I think that there are 7 purple puppy dogs. Let's count them with me and make sure we're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 purple puppy dogs. Now, what number are we looking at this week and trying to learn to count to? That's right, the number 10. So which one of our groups had 10? That would be the blue cats equal 10.
Wow, friends, you've done a lot this week with counting to 10, looking at different number partners for 10, counting objects to 10. Wow, I'm really proud of you. Let's do one more thing together. Let's take our fingers and let's practice counting to 10. So let's put our fingers down and let's go starting with our right hand. We're going to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When we use both of our hands, we have counted to 10. 5 on each hand. Again, 5 and 5 are number partners that make the number 10. Really proud of all the hard work you've done this week. Keep it up, and I'll see you again next week. Until then, keep counting.